Hey guys, welcome on into Amanda's Favorites. I have been using Planner Perfect plan books and their journals for 4 years. In June, it will be 4 years, so we're just about there. In this video, I'm gonna share with you my 3 favorite ways to use these Planner Perfect plan books or journals. And then I'm also gonna show you at the end my 3 favorite covers of all time, which is really hard to narrow it down, but I tried to for the fun of this video. I do have a 20% off discount code. That is a one-time use only though. So you can either load up your cart with as much as you want, or you can use it on like your first subscription box. It does exclude their leathers, but everything else you can use the 20% on and load up your cart. If you are new to Planner Perfect and you're like, Amanda, what is Planner Perfect? It can be a little bit confusing about all that they offer. So I have a Planner Perfect 101 video. I'm gonna link that down below. I'm also gonna link just my entire Planner Perfect playlist. I used to do a Planner Perfect setup video almost every month showing what I was gonna use my Planner Perfect book for that month and decorating it and setting it up on here. If you guys are interested in seeing those again, I'd love to hear down in the comments. I'm not gonna share with you all the basics of the Planner Perfect system today, like I said, because that's a whole nother video. Also, Jenny over at Planner Perfect explains why she made these books. I've used them in all different ways, but she made them for her scripting method. It's writing your day out in longhand, thinking about being very intentional and about what you want to happen. A plan book comes with a monthly layout, weekly layouts, and then in between each week, you have 2 blank pages per day, except Saturday and Sunday are each on 1 page only. And so you can use those blank pages in between however you wish. We're gonna talk about all the different ways that I've used them. You can choose between plain paper, which I love, or her dot grid, I believe in the subscription box. But if you're not getting the subscription box and you just wanna go through and pick out from all her artwork, your own books, you can choose graph grid, dot grid, lined, plain. So there are all those different options. And I do have a video showing all those different paper options in my Planner Perfect playlist. Let's jump into my 3 favorite ways to use the plan books. Number 1 is for memory keeping. Let me show you some of the special books that I have used for memory keeping over time. I'm gonna flip through as I talk about it. Each month in her subscription box is her new artwork. She designs a new plan book artwork and a new journal artwork for every single month. And then eventually, within a couple of weeks, that artwork is added to her site for you to be able to choose off and order from. But every month, if you're in the subscription box, you get the new artwork. The subscription box has many different options to it. These are wide books. Right now I receive A5 books, so she has all different sizes of books, and you can also choose 2 different sizes. If you want one size in your plan book and one size in your journal, you can mix that up in your subscription box too. So this particular book I used for really memory keeping for the month of December. And I love the way that it turned out. You know, I just kind of journaled throughout the day, or at the end of the day, I used the Planner Perfect washi tape. And then I also used Mary Engelbreit pictures that come on her day-by-day calendar. You can often purchase those Mary Engelbreit day-by-day calendars off of Amazon for really cheap when the year is up, but they still have some of them left if you just want them for the pictures. And so I have a lot of those in here too. So this one was purely for memory keeping. And these pages just feel beautiful to be written on. I'm gonna have all the paper information down in the description. It's a 24-pound journaling paper that can take watercoloring, as you saw in one of my other books, very well, and takes really all ink very well. I had my child, who was like 11 at the time, fill out what we did on this day. I'm not gonna show his writing, but that's a special thing about this book too. We had a special day that we did stuff with cousins, and he filled out his thoughts on that day. And so I have that commemorated in here, like his little 11-year-old self. So those are just really fun things you can do with this book if you are memory keeping in them. So this is, I would definitely say, memory keeping and not journaling, because I wanted to put all these pictures in here and I was kind of keeping track of what we did in December of 2020. Here is another one I used for memory keeping. This one is really special because this was the month that my son was leaving on his 2-year mission. And so many of you have been here with me through this. And so I actually even included pictures in this. Not only did I have just a lot to get done and organize that month with him getting ready to leave, but so this you can see is a to-do list mixed with memory keeping, and happens to be my favorite month to decorate for, October. So I absolutely love the little decorations and the stickers for October. So you can mix memory keeping with your daily list. This there's no rules. You can use it however you wish. So just because Jenny uses this system for scripting, I'm showing you the different ways that I've used it. And this one is memory keeping mixed with that daily list. It can definitely be your daily planner. We'll go into that. It makes daily planning really bright and joyful and feel happy. And you can see, I would even draw in a timetable a lot of times here for the hours of the day to kind of see what's happening when, and then my list for the day. And then you can do a little bit of journaling and a picture. So you can really format your days however you wish. And actually, maybe this was not the one that I put pictures in. I just said I did. No, that was a different pumpkin one. He did not leave in 2020. Okay, that's funny, you guys. That's this pumpkin one. He left in 2021. But we just flipped through this beautiful book. I really do love how the Mary Engelbreit day by day calendar pictures flow with kind of the Planner Perfect feel that I love, the comforting, homey feel. And so you can tape in papers in here that are important to you, kids' drawings. Just tape them in with washi tape. I always put the washi tape that came in the box that month back here so I can remember what came in the box that month. So that was a memory keeping one. All right, this is the last memory keeping one that I will show you, and then we will go into my number 2, my favorite, my daily list. So this was the memory keeping of the month that Pierce left on his mission. So there is pictures in here. I don't usually take time to print out Polaroid zip pictures because I'm just not a very patient person with that. I don't feel like the Polaroid zip works really well compared to some of the other printers that I've seen out now, but it's all I have. I feel it's just not intuitive and I don't feel like they're that great of quality, but I'm so glad I printed them for this book. I feel like they add so much to this special month. And I'm really glad that I took the time, because sometimes I'm just really lazy with technology, you guys. Hence why I love paper. But if you have a picture printer that you love, leave it down below for me, because I'd love to know. So this was the month that he left on his year mission. I have some notes and things tucked in there too. So memory keeping, my number 1 favorite way to use these books, because I feel like her seasonal artwork is just so special. And when you put the washi, the stickers, the little Mary Engelbreit pictures, and then you have your own personal handwriting in there chronicling what happened that month, I feel like they just make really good memory keepers. Number 2, use it just for daily planning. I've used this for so many months out of the 4 years that I've gotten Planner Perfect for daily planning, where I will just make my list in any which way I wish. Usually there's a top 3. Sometimes I did the timetable of the day. Sometimes I don't. And just go in, make your list, cross it out, and do whatever you need. Use it for your daily planning. Like there's my top 3. You get 2 pages for every day. And then, like I said, 1 page per weekend. But if you are not using her plan books where you get the weekly layout, and then you get the number of daily pages in between, if you're just using one of her blank journals, which you can do for your planning, then you could use however many pages you want. You could use only 1 page a day on the days you only need 1 page. You could then use, if there's one day you need 3 pages, use 3 pages. So that's where a lot of flexibility comes in if you don't need her weekly layout. And if you don't need the monthly layout up here, is where you can use as many pages as you want. But I find 2 pages per day to be plenty, and usually 1 page per weekend is plenty. There's also usually either extra pages up front or extra pages at the end in case you need extra pages, because she always overlaps her weeks. So like this month ends on the 31st. You would have had an overlap from the month before of this same week and the same daily pages. So you would have had some extra pages. So I like that she always has those extra pages in there. I love it for daily planning. I love that the weekly layout is also there and the monthly. These are all wide books. Like I said, I've just picked from my older books for some reason and not my newer A5s. I switched to the A5s not too long ago from the wides. A5 is just a little bit wider than a wide. It's the same height. And I wanted to show you this daily planning one that's done quite different from that daily planning one. So this one, I did a lot more timetables there for the day. And then I would have my list. Then I would maybe have some journaling if I didn't need to use that side of the page for planning. So it would kind of be timetable, list, journaling, and that's kind of how I was doing this month. And as we flip through here, you can see that every month feels so different based on what washi tapes and stickers you use in here. And so I love that monthly seasonal change and feel. I absolutely just love feeling very different every month and every season, and having a whole new plan book to start over in every single month really helps you not to feel bored in your planner. You don't feel like you're in the same planner for the entire year. And that is a really fun thing about this system. It also gives you a creative outlet because I do love to come in and I decorate my whole book for the month at once. I do all my washi and stickers. And if I'm going to predate the pages for that month, I do that all at one time. And that's just the way that I like to get it done. So it's kind of like even sitting down and thinking about the month ahead as I decorate the book. You can put her tip-in cards in here and put a habit tracker on the back, or write when plans change or anything like that. I like to send 2 tip-in cards to my mom and 2 tip-in cards to my sister every month. So I surprise them with which cards I pick for them, and they're great to put in with gifts or letters you're sending. I love the tip-in cards in the box. So that wraps up the number 2 way I love using it is daily planning. And now we're going to go into my 333 journaling. I love this cover, by the way. Absolutely love this girl on this cover. And when you have like a birthday that month, you can stick little, cut out things from your favorite birthday card and stick it in your book. So it makes a really good memory keeper, even if you're not using it for a memory keeping planner that month. Okay, going into this one, I used it for my 333 journaling, like I was talking about. And I would do this every morning. So it was like the first thing I did in the morning, even before my scripture study. 3 things I'm grateful for written out longhand in sentence form, and really trying to think in the last 24 hours. So really trying to dig deep, to think deep gratitude, not just those same surface things that you name all the time. So it would have to be in the last 24 hours, and it would have to be long form, sentence form. 3 things I'm grateful for. 3 things that I want to get done that day that would make me feel like I'm winning the day, and 3 affirmations. And that's it. It was 333. I got the idea from, I think it was Laura Try's YouTube video, but she got the idea from someone else and called it 333. So 3 gratitudes, 3 things that would win your day, and 3 affirmations. And I did this for several months in a row because I felt like it was such a positive way to start my morning. And in fact, it's making me want to redo it. As you can see, I didn't have to be neat. My pages weren't as beautiful as my memory keeping and putting in all the Mary Inglebright pictures. Sometimes it was also making lists, like brain dumping, as you can see there in the morning. But I did do a 333 every morning for months in a row. And I loved using it that way. I did my first watercolor in here. You guys, I know nothing about watercolor. So take it or leave it. I was just playing around after seeing Jenny's watercolor. I love the way the pages feel all crinkly. I love that it doesn't bleed through, yet you do get that crinkly page feel, which I kind of love and don't mind. By the way, this is one of my favorite washies she has ever done, that beautiful seashell. The other fun thing about the subscription box is you collect the washies. You get 3 each month. So after like a full year, then you're really building a collection to go pull from, and you can use them all in your books or in anything else. So this was my 333 journaling. Now I do want to talk about a few other ways that I've used them. Those are my 3 favorite ways. And while I'm talking about these other ways, I will just flip through some other books. This one was used just for a daily list with I didn't even have time to washi this one. See, if I don't washi it at the beginning of the month, I did a few pages of washi. If I don't do that, then I just never come back to it. So this one was used with absolutely no washi, very little washi, and no stickers, but it was just a daily list and messy. Just list it out every single day and use it for what I needed it for. So these books, I just always use them how they will serve me best that month. All right, other things I've used them for are just a plain gratitude journal. And this is not one of those. I'm just flipping through for you to see other months while I'm talking. And your book can just last you as long as it goes on. I've used it for prayer journaling, where I write out my prayers each day. I just really like this paper and the feel of these sewn books. So it feels special for a prayer journal and like a nice keepsake too. And for a scripture journal to write down, what you're learning each day, what thoughts or impressions you're feeling after reading that morning. So those are all ways that I have used these books over the last 4 years. You can tell this one was just, I would say, more journaling than memory keeping. Like this one was more journaling for myself. So those are my favorite ways to use these books. Share with me your favorite. Like, even if you haven't used these books, tell me what your favorite way is to use blank journals or notebooks. What would you use these Planner Perfect books if you had them for? I would love to hear your ideas. Most of the time, I didn't keep mine in my leathers after like the first 1.5 years or 2. because I just preferred to just carry the one book that I was using around the house. I love the leathers though, and I'm not getting rid of any of my leathers because I know I'm going to use them in the future. I only have one A5. This is the Marigold A5. This is the only one that's not in my leathers video because it's newer. All of these are my wide leathers, and I talk about them all in my leathers video in my Planner Perfect playlist. I share with you what's the difference between the out and about and the everyday carry, which comes with different pockets and such. I talked to you about why these are different than a lot of other TNs because they have a dedicated spine. So if you're interested in this, check out my leathers video. That will be linked below. These are all in there. I love the leathers, and I did use them for a good probably 2 years, even around the house. But like I said, then it just became that I just wanted to just plunk my book all around the house and not worry about the leathers. As you can tell, it's basically a blank slate. You can buy the blank journal and choose your pages, or you can buy the plan book with actually the dated planner pages, but it is there for you to use however you wish. All right, drum roll. My top 3 favorite covers, which was so hard to choose, but these are the 3 that hit me today as my top 3 favorites in no particular order. They're all my favorites, and I'll tell you why. This sunflower one, because you can see like every stroke of paint in it. Look at that, and the blue sky behind it, the green leaves. This cover makes me extremely happy when I look at it. I just love that every paint stroke in there, it just says happy to me and beautiful. And that was just off a journal that I ordered. It didn't even come in one of my sub boxes in the last 4 years. And that means it was some of her art she did even before the last 4 years. But the cool thing is all of her artwork gets put up on her website. So, it's just building the collection bigger and bigger every month. And you have so many amazing designs to choose from. Cover number 2, this one. I love lighthouses, you guys. I love what they mean. I love all the meanings you can attach to it. I love how they look. And I love the way that she drew this one. And this was also my very first Planner Perfect book subscription box. I think I ordered just the one book the month before this, if I remember correctly. And then this was my first subscription box that I ordered. And so I don't know, it means a lot. You know, your first box of anything, something that you were really excited to get, and who knew that it would become a staple in my life 4 years later. So that's pretty fun that was the first one. And it's actually just happens to be one of my favorite designs. And this apple wreath from September of 2020 plan book. So oddly, both of these came in the same year. Wow, I did just notice that. But I just love the fall. You guys know that so extremely. I'm a fall extremist here. And so anything fall I love all her fall covers, but I just love apple season. We don't grow apples here in Texas. We have nowhere to pick apples. Okay, we're not up in the north there. We don't get to go to apple orchards, but it sounds amazing to pick a crisp apple off a tree and eat it. And I just love apples, maybe because I was a teacher too for years before I had my boys, but I love the apple wreath, the look of it, the yellow and the red, the welcoming in September. I cannot think of anything better. Even though we're still blazing hot here in Texas, then we pretend. And we like to see things like this to pretend that we are not still 107 in September. So those are my 3 favorite covers for today. If you ask me in 2 months, I might pick 3 different favorite covers because there are so many, you guys. Look at all these. This is just a handful that I've shown you today. I store these in Container Store bins in my closet. I will get a picture of that and pop it in the video here for you guys so you can see, because I get asked so many times how I store my books. So we will pop that video in here of the Container Store bins I use. I believe they're called the men's shoebox. So they're like the larger shoebox. They're very affordable and they stack on top of each other and they're completely clear. I love them. And let me show you how I store my tip-ins. All right, these are also from Container Store and we will link everything in the description. But as you can see, these are stacking drawers. They're actually in the bathroom beauty section of Container Store. What I did one day was like, I need a way to store these tip-ins. And I literally took a stack of tip-ins into the Container Store. I'm lucky that I have one near me. And I said, I'm just gonna try everything in the store. I'm gonna walk around trying the tip-ins in it. I am going to find what will work. And by bringing the tip-ins into the store, I found these. They stack, and I have a set of 3 right now of them, and they stack perfectly on top of each other. They're not as cheap as the shoe bins that I store my books in, but they will last forever. So it's an actual drawer that slides in and out of here. You can bring it all the way out. But the key is you can buy these separate, and I can't take them all out without messing up my cards. But Do you see how these little plastic dividers are in there? There's 3 of them, so it divides it into 4 sections, and it's just an insert that you set in there. So it's something that costs extra. And like I said, it's in the bathroom to like divide makeup. So you can either use the drawer with the insert or without. It just sets in there. But what I did was stick little Avery sticky labels from Amazon on here, which I have in my Amazon store. I will make sure and link them for you guys. And I just wrote on there with permanent marker the months of the year. So as my cards come and I have extras, I stick them behind that month. And these 2 drawers hold all my months of the year. The last drawer that I said I have a stack of 3 stacked has other random things like sticky notes and everything in it. So this is January through July, and this is August through December in the second drawer. And so I can go and pull out all my July cards just by going boom when I'm looking for a card to send to someone, for that month. And so while I love to send out the new cards right away to my mom and sister to welcome in the new month, whatever I don't use that month, then I just stick behind that month. And I love looking through the old cards to the newer cards. It is so fun to have a collection of these to use along with the washi tape. I have some washi drawers that are just from Michaels. I know you can find very similar ones on Amazon. I will also pop those in the video here. And if I can find the same ones at Michaels, I will link them. I don't remember the brand or anything. I literally just walked into the Michaels store years ago and bought them, but I think I found them online before. So we will link those down below for you. I hope that this video has been helpful for you guys. Let me know down below if you've used Planner Perfect, if this intrigues you and you want to try to use Planner Perfect now. You can fit up to 4 books in every beautiful leather, and I love the thought of being someone who has like 4 books in here and takes this out of my house and does all my planning in here. But number one, that's just not me. That's my fantasy self. I don't take my planner with me out of my house ever. I put my appointments in my iCal, and all my planners always stay at home, but I'm keeping these because someday that might be me. And if not, then someday I might just use these at home again when I'm doing journaling or planning, because they don't sell this poppy leather anymore, but it is probably my favorite, right next to Jade and Marigold. I really love those a lot. Her leathers are one of the best things ever. Some people have an amazing collection of leathers. So chime in down below. I'd love to hear all your thoughts or questions on Planner Perfect. Don't forget I have a 20% off code, one-time use, but you can load up that cart. Take care of yourself so you can take care of others, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.